It was a warm summer morning. A little boy and girl were playing in the front yard. The rest of the family was currently taking care of their long list of chores. The little boy came running in to tell his parents that the little girl had climbed the 5-foot fence and was walking down the driveway. You see, she had decided to be helpful and was getting the mail. The oldest ran outside, opened the gate, and lo and behold, the little girl in a bright pink frilly tutu was walking back up the driveway carrying the mail. The oldest proceeded to pick up the little girl and take her inside the house. The father later that day went to the local hardware store and fixed the fence so that the little girl could not climb it again. That's the end of it. I mean, the problem was fixed and everyone was safe. Little did this family know, it was only the beginning. An original interpretation by Ami Green. The next day, while the family was busy eating breakfast, there was a knock at the door.
I am a sheriff's officer. You are going to let us in the house right now so we can interview the children immediately.
Is there a problem?
A witness saw 2 young children in your front yard.
Yes, I don't believe it's against the law to allow children to play in their front yard. I'm sorry, but without a warrant, you may not enter my home. Please leave. I'm going to call my attorney and ask my husband to come home. Ma'am, I am a social worker. You do not have the right to one, and we do not have to show you anything. We will leave, but we'll be back later today, and we'll get you and those little children too. Later that afternoon, they came back. We are conducting a criminal investigation. Let us in this second. We do not require a warrant, and if you do not comply, y'all gonna be arrested.
What is this?
The wood? We're building bookcases. It's gonna be a hands-on activity for school.
These are obviously being constructed as a prison to house children.
And what are these? They're water coolers. Are they a problem? We keep them out of the little one's reach. What would happen if it rained? I'll tell you what. These things would fill up with water and your children would drown. Every bucket in this house must have a hole drilled in the bottom.
These nails, hammers, and saws are deadly instruments. Any child who watches cartoons would use these to bludgeon fellow siblings and should be locked up with keys. You are not responsible parents.
And the kitchen? How could you? The children are not allowed to eat hot dogs, marshmallows, or grapes. They're choking hazards. They can never eat unsupervised, and obviously they're not allowed to go into the front or backyard without a parent. Going into another room without adult supervision is completely out of the question. This is inclusive of all the children ages 2 to 15.
There needs to be pull alarms in all the doors that go outside.
But we don't have a pool. A pathway through the garage needs to be created to have a fire escape. But then the locks need to be put on the garage's external door. Why is the path necessary if we have to lock the only escape door?
Mrs. Green, you should work that out.
The pair proceeded to march around the home for the next 2 hours, constantly pointing at things, asking what they were, gasping, grunting, and scribbling them down on a clipboard and telling the parents how incompetent they were. The Green family had no idea that this saga would continue for another 60 days of unlawful police break-ins, assault, trees falling, tires blowing, a car wreck, hospital visits, the father losing his job, attempted kidnapping, and about 10 civil liberty breaches in several state lines. I'm sure you're thinking, or at least I hope you're thinking, that was an uneasy story, but that can never happen in real life. I'm sorry to report that this is a positively 100% true story. This happened to my family and I in the summer of 2015. The father and mother are my parents, and all the little troublemakers are my siblings. But my point is not to scare you, nor to make you go running to review your constitutional rights, but to show you that it's entirely possible for something good to come out of something as crazy and absurd as this. The something good was my baby brother. About halfway through, God told my mother that the little baby in her belly was a boy, and that we should name him Noah. He provided us with a choice: find comfort in the storm, or do not trust him and hit the panic button. We chose to trust. The days away from home turned to vacations. Vacations became time spent with loved ones that we hadn't seen in decades. Blown tires became short camping trips, and camping trips became unforgettable family memories. Hospital visits became the ways to stay together, and lost jobs became the means to move and experience new places we would have never thought of going to. Noah means rest or comforter. That is exactly what he was to our family. Is to our family. Our rest, our comfort. The day before Noah was born, the social worker dropped the case, apologized, and promised to never come near our family again. The sheriff's officer also dropped the case and hinted that he recognized the craziness of the demands that they gave us almost 4 months ago. Records expunged. As quickly as it started, it ended. The lesson I learned: I believe God stood up in the storm and waved his hand and commanded the storms to be still. To this day, whenever life gets too crazy or overwhelming, I can guarantee you that there will always be a light at the ends of the tunnel. A sunset over the mountaintop. When storms come, I can curl up in the bow of the boat with Jesus and take a nap. Nothing like a nap during a rainy day. I mean, sure, my family's lives are still completely abnormal. My now 5 little brothers are just coming up with genuinely really bad ideas, and my baby sister still loves going to get the mail. With another sibling's help, of course. But the Lord brought us through comfort through all the turmoil and assured us to rely upon him, that he will always have a plan and a path. And although we may not enjoy the journey, he will guide us and lead us to glorifying him. Sometimes it's messy and scary, and sometimes it's completely unbelievable. Often it will test our faith and the faith of those around us, and sometimes it will break us to the core and destroy everything we thought we held to be true. Our belief system, or even our deep-seated identities in our societies. But in the end, hopefully it will bring us closer to our Father and grow us in our reliance in him and him alone. All of this because some runners sent a video of a 2-year-old little girl climbing over a fence to the police. Thank you.